Hi, this is just a quick recording of how I do my progress for my homeroom so I can make sure everyone is on track. The very first thing I do is go to my homeroom in OLS and pull up the progress page. So once the progress page is up, then you will go ahead and click on all the subjects that you are wanting to include in your spreadsheet. So all of the core subjects. Once you have all of your core subjects clicked over here, then I'm going to also include core and optional, and this is because in language arts, we have some of the lessons that are optional in OLS that we've required on the mix. So I want to make sure those are in my MIC count correctly. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on number of lessons as well because that's how we count our lessons. We don't do percentages. And then I'm going to hit export. You're going to export this as incremental progress, and it comes as a CSV file. So after that, you just press OK. It's going to download for you guys. Once the box to download to save comes up, then you're going to go ahead and click Save File. And I usually save this on my desktop. Right now, I'm going to just open it really quick. All right, so it comes up with possible data loss because it is a CSV file. So what you're going to do is go down to Save As, and you're just going to put this somewhere where you can find it easily. So I'm going to put this in my downloads, and I'm going to change this to an Excel workbook. You can name it if you want to name it. Usually comes named with the date you pulled it, but I've already pulled one today, so we're just going to name it for today's date so I know where to find it. And just click OK. And then you're ready to work with your spreadsheet. Now there's some things that you need to get rid of on your spreadsheet first. I always go ahead and get rid of from the grade all the way down to the subject. I get rid of that. I also get rid of the total less percentages all the way to the expected lesson percentages. And then I scroll all the way down. I do keep my incremental progress, but all these percentages for the month, I erase those. So now I'm really ready to work with my spreadsheet and make sure everything is, we're going to filter everything and color code the expected lessons. I've already looked at the MIC for the week before, so I'm going to filter the spreadsheet. I'm going to filter that part, sorry. Let me filter this one. Okay, so I've already looked at the MIC and I wrote down the number of lessons that they were required to complete by the end of last week. I used the week before because I'm usually pulling this in the middle of the week. So the first lesson or the first subject I'm going to work with is we're going to get rid of some of these that we don't need. So we're going to click on Art. We're going to click on History 3. I have ALP and some of them are working in a history elective. Cursive and online learning. Just click OK. And then you're just going to scroll down and delete all of those subjects because those subjects are electives and we don't really track those. Just makes our spreadsheet look nice and neat. I guess you could wait till the end and just filter, but I don't like having any of that on there. So I just delete all that and then I'm ready to do the courses that I do need. So the first one I do is math. In math, they were expected to have 37 lessons by the end of the week. So I'll just put a 37 into the expected column and drag that box all the way down so that the 37 appears all the way down. Back up here, I go to the actual lessons and then I filter for short or smallest to largest. So this is where I do my color coding. I look at the lessons and if they are behind more than 2 lessons, then those guys get red. The red color because those guys are pretty far behind and need some work. If they're just behind a couple of lessons, then I give those guys a yellow because I want them to be on my radar, but I worry more about the people in red. And then I give everybody else, except for those who are really working ahead, like more than a few lessons. I'll show you what I do with those. Everybody else gets green. Those guys that are working like 10 or more lessons ahead, I give those guys purple. I have the ALP group, so some of them are little busy bees and they like to just work, work, work all the time. But if I filter my spreadsheet and see that those guys have red or yellow in some areas, then those are on my list too to say, hey, you have to finish your other work before you kind of get way too far ahead in another subject. So I will go through every subject, filtering for each subject like that, and put in my expected counts and highlight those guys that highlight for the red, yellow, green, and purple. Okay, so once you have all of your subjects highlighted and color coded, then what I do is go back and check all of the lessons, all the subjects that we've worked on, and I go ahead and filter starting with the course name because I want those all in the same order, in alphabetical order. So I do that A to Z, then I'll do the student's first name A to Z, and then the last name A to Z, and that kind of puts everything in order. The one thing you do want to remember is the lesson, what you pulled is the most current in your OLS. So once I have that, I decided to load this into my OneDrive. So I'll go to my OneDrive and pull up my spreadsheet where I keep all of my dates on there. So I've just labeled that 2017-2018 Philiatric Homeroom Progress. So I know kind of where to find it. And I open that up in Excel online. Or you can just open it up from your OneDrive down here. But because for some reason I don't know why, but my Excel online isn't transferring over my colors, so I want to edit this in Excel. So I'm going to make sure that pulls up in Excel. All right, so once I've got that pulled up in the Excel program, this is in my OneDrive, so this is auto-saved. Anything I do on here is going to save in my OneDrive. I don't have to press save and all that kind of stuff, so it's automatically saved. I've also added a note column, so I can say like if these guys are TSPs, I can kind of keep tabs on those, or if they've given me an excuse they've been sick, I kind of put that in there as well. So the first thing you really need to do is make sure that you've either added students that you've gained to your homeroom and you've deleted students that would have withdrawn, because if you don't, that's going to mess up your data. So you can see like this guy right here came to my homeroom, so I don't have a couple of weeks of his data, but you have to add the 7 rows for that person and put them in there first before you add all your data, or you have to delete any of the rows of students that have withdrawn. So once you have done that and you have the same people on both spreadsheets, then we're going to go over here. So we're going to be putting our data in this column right here. I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet that I was working on right here, and I'm going to everything right here is already on the spreadsheet, so we don't need to copy that again. I'm going to start with actual and go all the way and do all of my incremental progress. I like to keep that on there during the week just so I know, oh, hey, they worked really hard this week, but then they slacked off that week. So it just lets you know exactly what they're doing from week to week. But after that week is over, I always erase all that incremental progress, so that you can replace it with the next week. So once you have that in there, you guys can see that it's all color coded. You can see that one student was pretty far behind, and then she just kind of worked to catch up, and now she's caught up with some classes, and she's still a little bit behind in other classes. You can see some of the guys that were in red have now caught up and are ahead in classes. This guy is way far ahead in these classes, but kind of behind in this class just by 1. So just kind of keep an eye on that one. So it kind of gives you a way to keep an eye on everybody and just a really good picture, color coded, where you can see, are they making progress, what's going on. It gives you some good data when you're talking to parents. So once I have done that, remember the auto saves on. I close that. It's already saved it. So I'm going to resume editing, and you can see that it's back in my online 365 account. So I put this link on my DDI spreadsheet because I could not get, for the life of me, my DDI spreadsheet to download. I don't know if it's too big. I don't know what's going on. And then I couldn't get it to upload again. So what you do is you go up here to share, and you can get a link to share. And you can say anyone can, with this link, can view and edit, or you can just just set it to not allow editing, just whatever you want to do. And you just click apply, and then you can copy the link. So you can copy it, and then on your DDI spreadsheet, you just go to your OLS incremental progress sheet. And I just put, like, you're going to have to copy it. It won't, for some reason, the links are disabled. But you can put it up there so your lead can view your incremental progress, since I can't get mine to, for the life of me, work in my DDI spreadsheet. But she can go up here and view the incremental progress anytime she wants to, and whatever you do on that spreadsheet is saved automatically, so you don't have to update that link every time. But I hope that you guys find this helpful. I really enjoy looking at how my kids are progressing. It just gives me a good, easy picture to see everything. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be glad to help. Bye.